In this video, you will learn how to add glow effects to create stunning images. It's easy to do but also quite tricky, so make sure to pay attention and let's hop straight into Photoshop. Okay, so first create a duplicate by clicking Ctrl G. Now come to your tools and select the quick selection tool and then click select subject. So the selection looks fine to me. Come down and click on the mask icon to create the selection. Now we are going to make a selection of the flower she's holding. So holding Ctrl or Command, click on the mask of the selection and then select the quick selection tool again and make sure only the flower is selected. So I'm going to do that real quick. Let's go. And by the way, you can increase the size of the quick selection tool with the right square bracket key or decrease it with the left square bracket key. Alright, let's continue. Now with the active selection around the flower, make sure the thumbnail of the layer is selected and then click Ctrl+ J to make a selection of only the flower. Now right click on the flower and convert it to a smart object. Right click on the flower layer again and then put it in a group by clicking Group from Layers. Let's name the group Flower and then click OK. Now we are going to make the background darker so that the glow can pop. So select your background layer, come down to your new adjustment layer icon and I'm going to use a color lookup for this. Let's use the color lookup called Moonlight 3DL. And now it looks very nice but it looks too blue, so let's add black and white to it. So come to your new adjustment layer icon again and select black and white and let's reduce the opacity of the black and white a little bit. So I'm going to put the black and white opacity at 40% looks very nice. Now click on this small arrow here to open the flower group and then with the flower selected, click Ctrl+ J to make a copy of the flower. Now change the blend mode of the copy to linear dodge add and then come up to filter, come down to blur and then Gaussian blur and then we are going to reduce the radius all the way to 5. So you can just click here and type 5 and then click OK. Very good. Now we are going to create another duplicate. So click Ctrl+ J again and then double click on the Gaussian blur over here. And this time around we are going to change the radius from 5 to 50. And then click OK. Let's create a duplicate again. So click Ctrl+ J again. And this time we are going to double click on the Gaussian blur and we are going to change it from 50 to 150. And then click OK. And we are going to make one last duplicate. So click Ctrl+ J. And this time we are going to change it from 150 to 350. And then click OK. Nice. Now you can click here to close your flower group. Now come down to your new adjustment layer icon and select hue and saturation. We are going to add color to the flower. So click on colorize and then click on this icon to clip it to only the flower group. Now let's change it to the color we want. I'm going to be using color green and then let's increase the saturation all the way to 100. Now right click on the flower group and then convert it to a smart object. Select the layer with the woman selected and then come down to your new adjustment layer icon and click on exposure. Now let's reduce the exposure to make it darker. Click on this icon to clip it to only the woman we selected. So -2.44 looks good. Now come to your tools and select the brush tool and then make sure the foreground color is black and then make sure the flow is around 10%. Now we are going to clean the darkness from the parts we want the highlights to hit. So I'm going to clean her face because the flower will be lighting up her face. Alright. Let's clean all of her chest areas as well. Now, when you are satisfied with how you've highlighted the subject, come down to your new adjustment layer icon and create a hue and saturation again. And then let's clip it to the subject as well and then click colorize. Let's use the same color we used for the flower. So that's going to be the green color. And then let's increase the saturation. For now, let's increase it all the way to 100. Now we want the color to be applied to only the parts where we highlighted. So select the mask of the exposure adjustment layer and then holding Alt or Option, drag the mask and drop it onto the mask of the hue and saturation adjustment layer. Click yes to replace the layer mask. Now it has been applied to the opposite side, so select the mask and then click Ctrl+I to invert it. Now let's reduce the opacity of the hue and saturation adjustment layer. 50% looks good for the opacity. Let's keep it at that. Now let's clean it from her face because the top part of the flower isn't so green. So select the brush tool and then let's increase the size a little bit and then let's clean the hue and saturation from her face. Okay, so this looks fine, this looks beautiful, and there you have it, a beautiful glow effect easily created in Photoshop. If you made it to the end of this video, I'm sure you've learned something today. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more awesome tutorials. Never stop creating, and I'll see you in my next video.